Day 22. This is the prophecy. Zechariah 11, verses 10 through 13. I took my staff, favor, and cut it in pieces to break my covenant which I had made with all the peoples. So it was broken on that day, and thus the afflicted of the flock who were watching me realized that it was the word of the Lord. I said to them, If it is good in your sight, give me my wages, but if not, never mind. So they weighed out 30 shekels of silver as my wages. Then the Lord said to me, Throw it to the potter, that magnificent price at which I was valued by them. So I took the 30 shekels of silver and threw them to the potter in the house of the Lord. This is the fulfillment of the prophecy. Matthew 26, verses 14 and 15. Then one of the 12, named Judas Iscariot, went to the chief priests and said, What are you willing to give me to betray him to you? And they weighed out 30 pieces of silver to him. God called Zechariah to shepherd his flock, a people who were headed for slaughter due to the wickedness of rulers, who did not care about them but were concerned only for themselves, their power, and their positions of authority. As their shepherd, Zechariah was to do his best to rescue the people. Before long, Zechariah grew impatient with the people, and they in turn rejected him. Demanding his wages, Zechariah was paid 30 pieces of silver, but, at God's command, threw them to the potter in the temple. Like Zechariah, Jesus, the Good Shepherd, was rejected by his people, betrayed by one of his own disciples, Judas, who received 30 pieces of silver from those who felt their positions of authority were being threatened by Jesus. Seeing how Jesus suffered at the hands of the chief priests, Judas later threw the money into the temple, just as Zechariah had done, and that blood money was used to purchase the potter's field. 2 shepherds, both rejected, but in the case of Jesus, the true Messiah, his rejection, death, and resurrection saved his flock from death, the penalty for their sins. Today's reflection. The price Jesus paid for my sins was far greater than the silver for which he was betrayed. What does that say about God's love for me?